Hi, today I'm going to show you our Vibrant Hibiscus Bracelet. This cute and colorful little multi-strand bracelet is perfect for summer and is easily customizable for any kind of colors that you like. So let's take a look at the products and tools we'll need to make it. For this project, we are going to be using size 11 metal round seed beads in silver. I have some size 8 round seed beads in the semi-glazed opaque orange and the semi-glazed opaque lemongrass. Then I've got 3mm fire polish beads in the saturated pumpkin and the saturated navy. I have these adorable little 7mm red opaque dark bronze finish hibiscus flower Czech glass beads. They're so cute, I just love them. Then we also have a 5x3mm dark cobalt white and light blue mix with Picasso Rondelle fire polish beads. And then I've got these cute little 6mm opaque Gaspeite green teardrop glass beads. For my button, I chose the little 15mm flower of life button. Then I have 3 7mm 18 gauge jump rings. And then I just have 2x2 sterling silver crimp beads. I'm going to string this all up on the fine soft flex beading wire. And then I have 1.5mm natural antique brown round leather cord for my clasp. And for my tools, I will be using chain nose pliers, wire cutters, and crimping pliers. You can find links to all these beads and supplies in the description below. So let's get started. Okay, so to begin our bracelet here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open these 2 jump rings and I'm going to attach it to the shaft on this button. So to do that, I'm just going to pick up the jump rings with my chain nose pliers. And I'm going to open it by pushing one side towards me and one side away from me. And then I'm just going to string on the button. And seeing how my other jump ring is already closed and nice and tight, I'm just going to go ahead and string that on that jump ring too. And now I'm ready to string on my soft flex from the second jump ring to do the 6 strands on here of the beads. So to do that, I went ahead and I've already cut myself 8 inches of soft flex beading wire because my beaded strand is about 6 inches long. So then this gives me a couple inches to crimp it on there. So to do this, I'm just going to pick up a crimp bead with my soft flex, and then I'm going to go around the last jump ring that you added there, go back through the crimp bead and slide it down there. And I always like to leave a little bit of room between my jump ring and my crimp bead so that it's not too tight. So using your crimping pliers, you're going to use the back notch first and you'll crimp 1 time, and then you're going to turn and go to the front notch and crimp 2 more times. So using that back notch first, leaving just a little bit of room there, I'm going to go ahead and crimp 1 time. Then I'm going to turn it and flip it to the front notch and crimp 1 more time. And I always do kind of a couple times there for good measure. I always like to give it a little tug and make sure it's nice and secure. Taking your wire cutters, you're going to go ahead and cut off that little tail, taking care not to cut your working wire there. And so now I'm ready to string my first strand of beads. And the first one I'm going to do is these little hibiscus flowers that are spaced out here with the seed beads. So I'm just going to grab a little pile of flowers here. And I'm going to spill out some seed beads. So I want to start with the hibiscus flower first. So just string that guy on there. And then I'm going to pick up 1 seed bead. And then another flower. And I really liked how the seed beads kind of space the flowers out just enough so you can really see the detail on them. I just think they're so cute, and they come in a lot of fun colors too. And you can always feel free to vary up the patterns on this bracelet. You don't have to have it strung just exactly how I do, so you can really create it and make it your own. So I'm just going to continue stringing 1 flower and 1 seed bead until I have 18 flowers on here. You want to make sure you end in a flower, and then I'm going to go ahead and attach it in the same fashion as I did over here to another jump ring. So I'm going to go ahead and continue stringing this until I have either 6 inches of beaded strand or I have my 18 flowers on there. So we'll be right back. Okay, so as you can see, I completed this strand here. I went ahead and I strung up 18 flowers, spaced out by your seed beads, and then I just went ahead and attached it to the last jump ring that we had in the same fashion as we did the front part there. So I went ahead and again, in the same fashion, I went ahead and strung my second strand, and so I'm getting ready to string up my beads, and this pattern is 9 seed beads and then 6 of the little teardrops, and it just repeats. So I'm just going to pick up my seed beads. I think I have 9 on there. I just got to double check real quick. Yep, so I've got 9, and then I do 6 of my little teardrops. And the teardrops are really cute, the way they link up once you string it all. Kind of fun and cute on the bracelet. It gives a nice texture. So I've got 3, so I just need 3 more. And then I just repeat that pattern and I do 9 more seed beads. All right, so I got my seed beads, and then I just do 6 more of these. Easier to pick them up, to string them on there. And you're going to repeat this 3 times and then end with the seed beads. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and continue this pattern here so that you'll repeat it 3 times and then you'll end with the 9 seed beads. So I'm going to finish stringing that and I'll be right back. Okay, as you can see, I went ahead and I completed my second strand there, and I went ahead in the same fashion and attached it to my jump ring here on the end. And I went ahead and attached my third strand. So this strand is made up of, first section is the seed beads, which are 29 seed beads, and then the back part is just 31 of the blue fire polish. So I'm just going to go ahead and string out my seed beads. Get them on there. I really like metal seed beads because they make great spacers, and where you get a big 10-gram bag, it makes it nice and kind of economical for little spacers, and just to add a little bit of metal to your bracelet. So I'm almost done stringing up 29 of these little metal seed beads here. A couple more to go, and then I can start adding the fire polish. Okay, so I've got my last seed bead added there, and then start to string my fire polish. And I have 31 of the opaque blue fire polish here. And again, feel free to you can definitely string up your strands different, using the same beads, in any patterns that you really like. So it's a nice way to kind of take a bracelet design and you can customize it and kind of make it your own if you like. All right. So I'm going to continue to string up the rest of these fire polish beads, and then I'm going to attach it to the jump ring on the other end, and then I'm going to show you the other strands here that I have. So I'm going to continue this, and then we'll be right back. Okay, so as you can see, I went ahead and I completed my strand here of the 29 seed beads and the 31 of the fire polish in the blue, and attached it to the jump ring. And I went ahead and I attached my other 2 strands that I'd already had strung up, and they are strung in a very similar pattern to the 3 that I've already showed you. So I have one strand here of the rondelles, where it's 32 rondelles and it's spaced out with the little seed beads. And then I have one here where it is the 3mm fire polish, and then it has the hibiscus flower in there. So it's got 6 fire polish, and then you have a little flower, and then that repeats 4 times. And then my last strand is just kind of a mirror image of the opaque and the seed beads here, where it's the size 8 seed bead in the lemongrass. So it's 37 of those, and then you have 47 of the size 11 seed beads. So I have all my strands, and so my bracelet is pretty much done. Now I'm just ready to make my leather closure. And to do that, I took about a 10-inch piece of leather that I already cut, and I'm going to thread it through the jump ring on the end here. And I'm going to bring the 2 ends together so that it's equal there. And I'm just going to tie an overhand knot as close to the jump ring as I can. So I'm just going to do a little knot here. My little knot got a little jammed there. Let's try this again. There we go. All right, so I've got my knot, and then I'm going to make a little opening here for my button. So to do that, I always put my button in between the 2 pieces of leather, so you can kind of measure how big your button is. And then you go ahead and you do another overhand knot there at the end. You pull that down. And I always like to just do 2 of those so it's kind of can be adjustable. So I'm going to do the same thing again, just using my button to gauge my size. Then I kind of hold it in place there with my finger, and then I just do an overhand knot. And I pull my leather through there. And it's great for if you're making this bracelet like for a gift or for somebody, then that way it's like if you don't know their wrist size, it's like it's definitely going to fit them with the 2 closures there. And then I always like to just trim the end of my leather a little bit, and I like to do it at an angle. I just think it looks a little nicer, but it did quite an angle as much as I wanted there. There we go. All right. So now I have my bracelet is all done. You can find all the products and tools for this inspiration design at fusionbeads.com.